Hey everybody, Captain V from AllPro. I'm pretty excited to talk about our new 2022 Grub, the X-Pro Grub. This was a huge hit at the Rhode Island show, at the Edison show. Those people who were able to come to our booth to actually touch it, feel it, smell it, they bought it and they just wiped us out of them. At that time, I learned there's a little education process. And I have to do my part in explaining a little bit on why and how I created this grub. So what I did is that I picked all the great things of all the other grubs out there and I combined them and made this grub. The first thing we did is that we scented it, but we scented it slightly different, where we impregnated the plastic and created the compound with the scent in it. So the grub itself smells a certain way, just not like flavored or masked a certain way. The grub actually smells a certain way. So 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now, a month from now, 2 months from now, you pick up the grub, it's gonna smell. I will always have that scent. We also put a little scent in the bag, so this way it kind of recharges it a little bit, maybe makes it a little stronger after it's been out for a little bit or handled a lot. So the grub itself is a fully scented grub, very strongly scented grub. The other thing we did was that we found that with some of the really good grubs out there, a problem is that you would lose the tails, they would fall apart, they were easily bitten off. So we create a plastic that is very strong. It's resistant to teeth and any pointy object. So you could put this grub down, bang it like with a fork, pick it up, and there won't be any holes in the grub. Now, this doesn't mean a crab won't come along and take it off, or let's say a blowfish, like with really sharp teeth, may not puncture a hole in it. But you know that when you drop it down and you're working it, your tail's not gone. It's going to be there. And that's a problem with some grubs. You put them down there, and you might have gotten a bite, you might not have gotten a bite, you don't know, you just got it, wet, it's just in the water. If you bring it up, you're not going to catch anything if it's out of the water, but if you leave it in and it doesn't have that tail on it, guess what? You're probably not going to catch anything anyway. So with this here, it gives you a little insurance that your tail's going to be on there. Now, we also made a little fork tail here, or devil's tongue on here, or whale tail on here, to give us some more action. So we've got the scent, we've got the action, we've got serious durability, but we wanted to go a little bit further. So what we did is we inserted a rattle in every one of these. The rattle's in the 6-inch and the rattle's also in the 3-inch. So if you rattle them, you will hear that. And the rattle does not interfere with the hook placement, because the rattle is placed in this area here, which is the rattle port. And the hook would come out into this area here. The other thing that is real important about this grub, and I think really sets it apart, besides the rattle, besides the fact that it has crazy action and that it's almost permanently scented, is that they glow. Very cool. Every color glows. And I'm not talking like your baby glow. These things light up glow. We make them in chartreuse, in white, in pink, nuclear chicken, fire tiger. They all light up. The last thing that we do with this grub, and I want to bring to your attention, is that we made things called bite ribs. This grub is extremely soft. Extremely soft. What it does is that, specifically for fluke, when fluke, you can watch a lot of fluke videos and it will show you this. When fluke bites on their prey or hits your bait as you are drifting, it will bite it and it will swim with it. Unlike a striped bass or sea bass that might bite and run, you'll feel it. A lot of times you don't even know a fluke is on, and they're following that drift and that bait in their mouth. At that point, they'll make a decision if this is food or just an object that they're not going to eat. And they will either spit it out where you won't even have a bite, or they'll take another bite, or they'll, bite down on it. And when they bite onto this, their teeth actually will sink into the grub itself, not puncturing it, but sink into it. This again simulates like flesh, like a body, food, and they will hold on to it longer, or maybe even take an additional bite, and therefore give you that extra second or so that you need to set the hook. This is the AllPro Grub. Comes in 6-inch, comes in 3-inch. We like to use the 3-inch in a high-low application on a teaser. You could put it with one of our pro teasers, which is a deer hair teaser, or you can just put it on a plain 4-0, 5-0 hook and put it up high. We like putting this here on a one of our Big Eye Slayer jigs or a bucktail. We like that. We also like using these on a 3-way, and you put it on a hook by itself on a 3-way and you let it out there. It's a real useful lure. It's going to bring some insurance and peace of mind that you're not losing your tails down there, that you got the scent, you got the action, you got the presentation. You have that little rattle for that extra attraction. You've got the glow in the deep waters. And again, you've got an incredible soft bait. Lastly, this lure will not dry out. When you're running from spot to spot, it's okay that you leave it out on your deck. Not going to dry out. You can leave it on your fish line, take it off tomorrow, take it off next week. We'll never lose the softness. Again, this is the AllPro Grub. You can find them at allprotacklebox.com. I appreciate your time. I hope that you will give us an opportunity to show you exactly how great this grub is. Thank you. I'll see you on the water.